everybody, welcome to the Leek. I'm John as always, and it's here. Amonkhet has been released, which means, of course, we are going to open an entire box of it. See what we can get in here, see if we can get some value, see if we can finally get the invocation that I've been looking for, or the masterpiece, rather, that I've been looking for forever. I'm well over 400 packs of sets with masterpieces without getting a single one. Is this the box? Probably not, but let's see what's inside of it. Alright, so let's crack on into this box, see what's in it. We're not going to do an in-depth strategy discussion or anything like that. I'll make comments as to whether or not it's going to go in my cube, if I'm excited for it for Standard or Commander or something like that. But we're mostly going to be checking out what's in the box in the rare and foil slots. So let's crack in. Come on, Masterpiece. You've got to be in here. I always totally forget to bring any sort of implement to actually help me open the box. There we go. Box is opened. Time to crack into these packs. Up first, we got the Jackal Man. Battlefield Scavenger, I think it is. Flipping on to the back. What do we get? We get ourselves Hazard's Favor. Haha! First pack. First pack, Invocation. Finally, I open a masterpiece. And it's a Containment Priest, which is not too shabby. I'll take a masterpiece Containment Priest any day. It's got to be worth a little bit. Pretty awesome. Beats the Hazard's Favor, that's for damn sure. I will say Sean picked this box. My local game store owner picked it. I forced him to pick it. Therefore, the blame could be on him if I didn't open a masterpiece. So thank you, Sean, for finally picking the right box. That worked out about as well as it possibly could have without me, like, pre-opening these packs or something. All right, next pack, we've got ourselves an Approach of the Second Sun and a foil Cast Out. Approach looks interesting. I'll definitely try it out in Limited at some point. It's, you know, I've seen people say that they win with it, and I can definitely see the possibility. It's just going to still be a little bit tricky to get there. This foil Cast Out's very pretty, though. Very nice art on that. Just missed my top 10 art list, which will be up next week on Top 10 Thursday. Next pack. I mean, I guess we're losing a little bit of hope here because I'm pretty sure it's basically impossible to get a second invocation in this box, but maybe we can just crack a whole bunch of foil mythics or something. This pack, we've got ourselves a Pyramid of the Pantheon and a foil Island. Well, at least we're hitting foils. We've had technically a foil in every single pack. This one's just a land. Not even one of the terribly pretty islands, but, you know, foils are foils. Pyramid of the Pantheon, not very good in really any format. I don't want to pay 2 mana to get 1 mana, even if I eventually get a Gilded Lotus. Next pack, crack it on open. We get ourselves a Cascading Cataracts. I don't like it. I do not care for Cascading Cataracts. I think there's just a billion better lands for Commander. I don't think this does anything in Standard. I'm certainly never touching it in Limited. Not my kind of land. Next pack. Not even sure what I'm hoping for at this point. I guess I'm hoping for a Nissa. Certainly hoping for a Liliana. Beyond that, I mean, foil Cancel is pretty high up on my list because that art is gorgeous. We get an Archfiend and a foil, or not a foil, a full art Island. Do these come in foil? I assume they do. See if we get one, although I'm not going to be hoping for foil basics. Anyways, Archfiend of Ifnir, very excited to play this in Limited. Looks like just an absolute beating. Next pack disintegrates in my hands. What do we get? We get ourselves in a Mythic and another foil. We are 4 for 5 on foils. It's just a Battlefield Scavenger, but hey, we got ourselves a Samut. Samut looks very fun. She's, of course, a 3-color commander due to that white in her casting cost. I'm wondering if that's suggesting there's going to be shards later in Hour of Devastation. I'm not a huge fan of heavy multicolored blocks, so you know, I like them once every like 6 or 7 years, so hopefully not. I wouldn't mind a slight shard. I'm hoping this is just for Commander identity, just to be like, hey guys, here's a card for Commander, we know you want more Naya commanders. pack number 6, I think. Flipping on through, and we get a Fetid Pools. I will take Cycling Dual Lands any day. I assume they're going to see a fair bit of standard play. So if I do want to get back into standard at some point, that'll help. And that's my second Fetid Pools actually after pre-release. Next pack. Let's get another Mythic already. That's my plan. That's my plan. Instead, we just get a Duskadon. Totally fine. Imagine it'll also see standard play, especially with Cat now being for sure banned. Fine card. I didn't get to play it in my pre-release, even though I had it, but yeah, looks very good. And I don't care what people say. I really like the Aftermath layout. All right, what do we get next? What do we get? We get ourselves an Irrigated Farmland and a Full Art Forest. This is my third Irrigated Farmland, I think. I feel like I've opened one, I had a promo one, and this is now my third Irrigated Farmland. So, hey, getting the blue lands is also really good. Blue lands historically are the most expensive. Plus, I'm really hoping some sort of control deck does come back with Cat being dead. Next pack, we get ourselves another foil, and this time it's a foil rare. Foil rare that I'd really like to open in draft. Curator of Mysteries, along with a Prepare to Fight. This is a foily box. Let's see if we can keep that foil train going. With the Reichs Riches and no foil. Well, we're keeping the split card train going. Reichs Riches I really don't care for. The Rags half is okay in limited, but it's still an effect that I typically just sideboard in. I don't even really go out of my way to play it. And Riches is horrible. 7 mana to have your opponent choose what creature you get? Not playing it. Next pack. Let's do a countdown for foils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is a foil in this pack as well. It is a Harsh Mentor and a foil kitty. Foil Initiate's Companion. Yeah, Harsh Mentor. It's like $10 or something last time I checked. It's going to be a sideboard all-star in many formats, and if Mono Red ever comes back, it'll certainly be a main deck there. Certainly will take a Harsh Mentor. Probably even just goes in my cube to help out the Mono Red deck. Not that Mono Red typically needs help in cube. Next pack, we get ourselves a Champion of Ronis, a card that I really want to play with because I want to cheat things into the battlefield. I want to cheat out 7/7s and 6/6s and big things or powerful things. Very fun card. Might make cube. It'd really help out the ramp deck, that's for sure. Because then even if you miss your ramp, you can just attack with that and drop your, I guess dropping Crater Hoof wouldn't be the best post attacks, but there's options. Dropping a Woodfall Primus sounds pretty gross. Next pack, we get ourselves another split card, and it's a pretty bad one. It's a terrible imitation of that card that got banned. You guys know the card. Why don't I know the card? Reflector Mage. It's a terrible impersonation of Reflector Mage. Bad card. Certainly not played in limited. Probably just not played anywhere. That is probably the downside of these rare double-colored split cards, is they have to be rare. Because the vast majority of them, if they were uncommon or common, would just utterly ruin the limited format. They're too powerful for limited for that. But having them at rare means you get these cards that are kind of weak. Yeah. Anyways, I see why they had to do it, but it's not great. Bontu! Bontu, the god that I most want to open and try out in limited. Bontu seems really good. I don't think she's as bad as some people immediately jump to. She's probably not as good as I immediately jump to. I think she's somewhere in between. Remember, you don't have to just sack a creature every turn. You don't have to attack with her every turn if all it's going to do is eat a 2/2 or something. You can just hold her back and block and scry and get advantages and etc. She fits in a slow deck. She doesn't fit in an aggro deck is the big thing, I think. So that's 2 mythics in. So statistically, we have 1 point something more left in this box. Well, Drakehaven's not a mythic, but very fun card nonetheless. And if I do put in a cycling theme, which I don't think I would ever do in a cube, actually, then perhaps Drakehaven could be there. I guess you could put in like a cycling discard theme into a cube. Maybe like a blue-black hand control sort of deck. Could be interesting. And a foil Cartouche of Solidarity, which I was hoping they would look better, to be honest. It's a very dull foil, and a very green foil. There's like a green hue to it. Interesting. Next up, we're like a third through the box, somewhere around there. Maybe halfway through the box. Next up, we get ourselves a Dispossess. Pretty damn bad. In all formats, in all places. I hate these cards. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. Especially when they're this narrow, where you're choosing an artifact card. You're not even choosing any card like usual. Terrible card. Next up, we get ourselves a Regal Caracal with a cat token in the pack, ready to go. Awesome. Regal Caracal, I mean, come on, it fits in every cat tribal commander deck that every person has ever tried to build. Absolute beater in limited. Always will take a Regal Caracal. Next up, what do we get? We get ourselves a Glyphkeeper. Fantastic card. I can't really say too much else about it. It's horrifyingly annoying to play against in limited. You know, if you have fan bearers, it gets a whole lot better. If you have like, I don't even know what else you can have beyond that, but it's a pain in the butt. And even if you do kill it, it just comes back again. Next up, we get ourselves a Vizier of Many Faces. Speaking of killing it and coming back again, I really like Vizier. It's possibly my favorite clone printed to date, minus Progenitor Mimic, which is really fun. But yeah, being able to clone something early game and then having it die and then being able to clone something better later game fixes a lot of the problems with clones. Most clones you just held in your hand way too long because you didn't want to copy a 3/3 or a 4/4 or something like that, and then you might just die before you actually get to use it. This you don't feel bad using early, and that's fantastic. I will always first pick a Vizier if I see it. Next up. Alright, some of these packs are disintegrating and some are not opening at all. There we go. Next up, we get ourselves an Oracle's Vault. This card's going to haunt me. I'm going to see this card in prize packs. I'm going to see this card in box openings. I'm going to see this card pack 3 when I'm already super aggro, and I'm never going to get to play with it. I'm calling it right now. I really want to try it out. Really, really, really want to try it out. Next up, we get ourselves a Sandworm Convergence. I'm out on this card. I think it's just way too slow. I've seen a lot of people say, but I've every time I played it, I won, and that is to be expected. If you play Sandworm Convergence, you should win. Sandworm Convergence should have a nearly 100% win rate. However, you have to remember all of the games where it just sits in your hand as a dead card because you didn't hit the 8 mana required. Yeah, be careful when you value cards like that. Just because it wins when it comes down doesn't mean it always comes down. Next pack, we're probably just over halfway through now, I think. We get ourselves our third mythic of the box, Vizier of the Menagerie. Happy little snake man with all of his little friends. He's even got a little bug in his hand. Super excited to try that card. That probably goes into my cube, I think. My cube evolves over and over and over. And I actually haven't updated it in about 6 months or so. At least 2 or 3 sets I need to add into the cube and take some other stuff out. It's a very... I'll do a video on it someday. It's a very modernish cube. There's not too much super old stuff, and it's certainly not powered, but I'll do a video on it at some point. Next up, let's see if we can get the mythical 4th mythic in the box. Well, we get a Glorybringer. So we get the best card in the set from a limited perspective. Super, super good card. Just an utter beating. Probably should have been Mythic from a balance perspective, but just super good. I have a massive feeling that we're going to see a bunch of dragons in the next set, not just Nicol Bolas. Otherwise, the non-dragon thing is a really strange clause here. Next up in a tough to open pack, we get ourselves Hart Pearson Manticore. Do you like fling? Do you like flinging twice? Do you like flinging attached to a 4/3? Well, then you'll like yourself a Hart Pearson Manticore. Really good card. Just comes out of nowhere. A lot of the red cards just come out of nowhere. Insult to injury, if you guys watched my stream, just, you know, my opponent attacking me, leaving no real blocks because they were at 14 life, and me going, oops, insult to injury, you lose, and dealing 14. Oh boy, be careful with those red decks. If you're up against red, think about your blocks. Think about how many cards they have in hand, etc. Next pack, we get ourselves a Channeler Initiate, card that I'm really looking forward to trying because I love mana dorks, and a mana dork that becomes more useful in the game. Sign me up. Alright, I think we're down to 6 packs here, by my count. Scattered Groves, our third cycling land. Again, I don't terribly mind getting lands in boxes. It's fine. They're probably one of the better investments. You know, they're not super powerful. They are tap lands, unfortunately, but, you know, I like them. We might actually have 9 packs. I just can't see into this box. Yeah, we've got 9 packs left. All right. Or 8 packs, including this one, rather. Pack number 8 last is Bounty of the Luksa. I've seen some people say this is actually really good. I still really don't know about spending turn 4 doing nothing in order to draw an extra card on turn 5 and then 7 and 9. I don't know. I don't think the format's that slow. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll see if I can see some people playing it, but I'm not going to be the one to try it out. Dread Wanderer, the Gravecrawler imitation. Yeah, you want to be aggro? Here's your way to be aggro. I don't think it's quite as good as Gravecrawler. The 3 mana to come back and the restriction on coming back is not great. But, you know, 2-1 for 1 is nice and aggressive at least. Alright, I think we've got like... This is 6th last pack, I'm gonna say. Heaven to Earth and a foil cartouche of Ambition. What do I get if I open all 5 foil cartouches in the box? We got 3 to go. Heaven to Earth, interesting. I'm still not sold on it. The Earth side is fine, but I feel like red is such low power creatures that it's just going to kill all of yours too. I don't know. I don't think it's great. I think it's purely sideboard, really. Next pack. I'm slowly developing a cough, and I'm trying to get through this before that becomes a coughing fit. Hey! Mythical Mythic number 4, our second god, Oketra the True. I'm liking this box. We got Oketra, we got Bontu, we got Samet, we got my first masterpiece ever. Seems good. Seems good. I like Oketra. I think she's probably the second best god behind Bontu, no, people yell at me for that, behind Ronis, and just ahead of Hazoret. I think Bontu realistically is probably the 4th best god, but I still really want to play with her, and I would first pick her instantly. Kefnet, he can go away. I think he's just bad. Prowling Serpapard, a card that I've seen people be really high on. Really, really high on in Limited, and I just do not agree. I mean, it's a 4/3 for 3, which is solid. You know, you'll play that every single time you ever see it, and you'll pick it relatively highly. But this is all flavor text. You know, people are playing Essence Scatters, but, you know, it's flavor text. It's not a reason to go into this card. I think it's fine, but don't ever first pick it, really. Next up, wonder if we're going to get that foil cancel. Nope. Anointed Procession. Well, if it's anything like my my Journey into Nyx box or Born of the Gods box, whatever set had that really nice looking divination, the one that LSV uses as his art, it was the final pack in the box that had the foil of it. So maybe the final pack in the box will have my foil cancel. This is our third last pack. Let's count down the commons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No foil in that pack. But we do get Hazoret. We get the 5th Mythic in the box. Wow. It's been a while since I've had a 5 Mythic box. But we have all the gods now, except for Ronis and Kefnet. And I got Kefnet in a pre-release, so I have all the gods except for Ronis now. Hazoret, real good. Maybe it's a god box. Maybe this is Ronis and the other one's Kefnet. Let's find out. This pack is Temet. So it's not a god box. We don't get one of each god. We do get Temet, who I think is real good. Does not go into cube because he's completely parasitic and only works with his own mechanics. But yeah, I'd love to first pick this and go into the heavy embalm deck. Final pack of this really good box, I've got to say, especially with the masterpiece in it. Final pack, let's do the countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No foil cancel for me. No second masterpiece, but we do get a Liliana's Mastery. Well, I'm pretty happy with this box. I'm going to throw now to a breakdown of the value. So yeah, look at that value, and before you yell at me from the future, these were the prices of these cards on the day that I opened this box, the day of release of Amonkhet from Star City Games. If you use different prices, cool, good for you. Don't yell at me from the future if the prices change. Very happy with this box. One of the best box openings I've had in quite a while, even beyond that Containment Priest. This was a fantastic box. Very happy to have all these gods, all these cycle lands, tons of stuff for my cube, and a good start to standard. Let me know how your boxes, how your packs, how your bundles went in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at @TheManaLeek. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeek, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeek, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeek if you want to become a backer and earn your way towards one of those playmats that I opened all these cards on, as well as the other bonuses you can get there. As always, click that thumbs up icon if you like the content. It really helps new people find my stuff. Click subscribe if you are new and you want to see more. And if you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.